Good morning, all of App Nation out there. Going into this indoor track season, we've done pretty well in the fall. Everybody has been preparing for a long period of time, building off what we did with cross country season and Coach Curcio. The men won the Sun Belt Championships, and the women were still at the top again. So going to this indoor season, which we have like 3 to 4 weeks left, the track side of things are going to be able to build off of what they've done in the fall. So we've got a couple of freshmen that we recruited really well, and they've already started making their mark on the indoor track season this so far. E.J. Haddock, Jamila Peterson. Going from there, we've had Isaac Benz, Peter Ken. Has done well in the throws, and we're going to move over there into the pole vault area where they can help us as well too. Are there any questions so far?
So, Coach, you mentioned the newcomers making an impact right away. You mentioned Eric Hag Jr. He won field MVP a couple weekends ago at ETSU, won 2 more jump events this weekend at VMI. Just talk about the expectation you kind of had for him coming into the season, and if he's met it or eclipsed it, and where he's at, 4 meets into his collegiate career.
For EJ, he's done really well, just like you just said. For him coming out of high school, being in the top 5 in the country, it was a really rare gem that we get here at App State. So the expectations for him is it's his job to go out there and do well, try to win conference at a very young age and put a lot of pressure on him. But I think from what he's done in high school, he's capable of doing those things. He's done really well. ETSU this past weekend, he won both the long and triple jump. That really doesn't show what he actually could have done. There's a lot of technical things we can fix for him, still make him faster. But I think he's getting prepared in the next 2 to 3 weeks to make a big jump there and put his name nationally on the national stage to make himself better, and Appalachia State ranked as well too.
And then jumping over to the women's side, you've also have another jumper that's nationally ranked with Peyton Simmons. Talk about what she's brought to the table, coming in more as a transfer and more on the veteran side as her season progresses as well.
Peyton's is another special person we've had. Going with that story, I recruited her out of high school, and she chose Chapel Hill. She chose Chapel Hill out of App State and NC State, and she, changed her mind and came into App. And I told her, I was like, these are the expectations I have to have for you. It's the same thing because when she came in, she was capable of winning the Sun Belt. And so the first week she got here, we told her, I expect you to be at the top of the Sun Belt as well. And now, after 3 to 4 months of just practice, she's done it already. But now she's got a little bit more expectation for herself, and set it for the team as goals to be on the national stage too. But for her to be a veteran, she's definitely going to help the young people that we've recruited this past season. She's already shown on the women's side that they already look up to her just because of her performances and stuff like that. So they know they have to try to copy that because they always want to try to beat the best person on the team. She's done really well, is even guiding a lot of the distance squad too. As of so far, she hasn't opened up the season in 2020 because I'm trying to hold her out to this weekend. Keep her fresh because she has a lot of other bigger goals this year for the team at conference and also for the national championship and Olympic trials. So she's trying to bolster up the team and try to get everybody experiences a little bit better and try to help them along the way.
Okay, and so on both sides, you've had 2 scored meets this year so far. Women took first in both. Men took first in the season opener, took second this past weekend. As you've reached the halfway point of the year, what are you looking kind of to accomplish here in the upcoming weeks as Sunbelt approaches?
Really just trying to fine-tune things. A lot of these kids aren't ready yet, but I think in the next 2 weeks they'll be ready. The scored meets is very important because it prepares us for conference. In track and field, it's a little different sport, and so we go to some meets and it's not scored, and we leave some of our better kids home so they can get a little bit of rest. But coming out of this past weekend, and it was going into it, it was one of those things where I told the kids, if like these are teams we should beat. And so we did that. And I think because we have to be prepared to be able to be competitive before we go into the Sun Belt Championships in 3 or 4 weeks.
And we'll end with this. The this upcoming weekend. You go back to ETSU. Just talk about what you're looking to get accomplished as you go to ETSU for the second time in about 4 weeks.
Going into this weekend for ETSU, we're going to give a little bit of our better kids a weekend off. Some kids haven't opened up, so we're going to give them this weekend and the next weekend at South Carolina and New Mexico to show what they have before we go into Sunbelt. That they give us 14 to 15 days of rest for those better kids. But it's just to go in there and fine-tune everybody's technical perspectives, see if we can hone in on our practices and our teaching of making them a little bit better. It might take this weekend and another weekend, but some people have put themselves at the top where they know where they're going to be at once we get to the Sunbelt Championships. But for the most part, those kids who are going this weekend, it's definitely just a fine-tune thing. See which events they're going to be more stronger at to help the team be successful at the Sunbelt Championships.